Hello all, welcome to today's tutorial, and our topic for today is angle of projection. I believe most of you would have heard of it and would have also studied about it, but for a quick refresher, I think it's really important to know what are the two angles of projection that we would be using in order to understand better the orthographic views and also to make it better for us in interpretation of the drawings. Alright, so let's go for it. So this would be your first angle and third angle projection, which I believe you would have already seen. So the front view, this is a plane, and the front view, and this is the left side view, and this is the top view. Okay, likewise with the third angle. Okay, so let's see what is the difference between the first angle and third angle, especially with the front view and the top view placement. Okay, so I have before me a model, okay, which I've created here. And this model, I'm just going to show you how it's going to look on the 2D views projected. Okay, so firstly, let's assume the observer is here. Okay, and the observer is observing the object. Okay, so when he observes the object, what happens? So this particular view let's project it onto this plane. All right, and when you project this particular view onto this plane, let me just rotate it and show it to you. Do you see that? So this would be the curve. Okay, so this would be basically your front view. All right, and these are basically like 4 quadrants which I've shown here. So this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. So any projection of angle shown in the first one would be first angle of projection, the second one would be the second angle of projection, and third one would be the third angle of projection, and fourth one would be the fourth angle of projection. But we do not use the second and the fourth, we use only the first and the third. The first angle of projection is used in most of the countries except for the US, and since most of our customers are from the US, so we would most of our companies, you would see that they will be using the third angle of projection. And even in my further courses, like when I'm taking the drawings and all of that, most of them would be from the third angle of projection. All right, so let's see this particular solid model. And this solid model you see here, it's in 3D. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what happens here. So let's assume the observer is here. Okay, and the observer views it from this side of the screen to here. Okay, so when you view it from that side, just assume yourself standing there. Okay, so this is what you would see. Okay, so this particular curve, so I can just so these are other features. Okay, so just put a static wireframe for the better curve. Okay, so this is the front view. Okay, so this would be your curve, and let's say the observer wants the top view of it. So what happens to the top view? So the observer, let's say he's viewing the object from here. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate this, I'm just going to place it. So you see this would be the top view, and if you notice, I've actually rotated the plane this way. Okay, which means, so let's assume this particular plane is rotated by 90 degree. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. So whatever this you saw on the top view, when it's rotated down, right, so the top one would become the front view and the bottom one would become top view. Okay, so basically, so when you view it, right, so when you view this thing, so when you view it like this, it would be the front view on the top and the top view on the bottom. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. And let's say the same thing I'm going to try with this particular one, the third angle projection. Okay, so basically I have this same model in the third quadrant. Let's assume the observer is standing here, or whichever side you want, it's your left your observation. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume that the observer is here. Okay, and the observer, when he views it from here, okay, what happens when he views it from here? So whatever he views it, it just comes on the front view itself, the same front view. But if you notice, where is it coming? I mean, first of all, this plane, like this is the vertical plane and this is the horizontal plane, right? So this particular model is falling on the vertical plane but below the datum plane. Okay, so below this plane. So what happens to the top view now? So now let's assume the observer is standing here to view the top view. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to move this. All right, and let me select the objects and let me just rotate this. Okay, and if you notice here, okay, let me just hide this for now. If you notice, this is the top view. So what happens to the front view? The front view would be placed here like I showed you previously, and the top view comes on top. All right, so what you understand by this? So when an observer views a particular object in the first angular projection, so the object is always between the observer and the plane, the projection plane, the observer, and the object is in the middle. Okay, and what happens in this particular thing is, when the observer is here or he stands here and when he views this particular object, so there is a projection plane in between. So when there's a projection plane in between the object and the observer. Okay, so that is the only difference, and that's a major difference. Okay, and the representation of this would be done by showing this particular symbol. You would notice this on all of the drawing sheets, and even before you start a drawing, it's very important that you select the angles of projection. Now you understand, I believe, this is the front view and this is the top view comes down, and how the top view is here and the front view comes down. Okay, and the same goes with, since it's the first angle projection, it will be the opposite. So the left side view would come on the right and the right side view would come on the left. Okay, I can show this as well to you. So let's assume this particular phase. Okay, so if this is going to be my 3D model, and if the observer is standing to the right of this model, okay, so this is going to be the right of the model. All right, and he's going to view, what is he going to view standing on the right? He's going to view the left, this particular thing, right? So when you project, assume there is a plane here. Okay, so when you project it, this is what you're going to see. Okay, so and this is to the left of the front view. So this assumed plane is to the left of the front view. Okay, and this, so basically the right side view comes to the left. Okay, and if I'm doing it this way, then the left side view comes to the right. Okay, the same goes with third angle projection as well. Okay, so it's just like you're unfolding a box and you just place it as it is and you would get that view. And now let's come to the this is the projection symbol which you need to remember, which is very important, the first angle and the third angle. Okay, when I project this onto the, when I'm viewing from the left side, I get my left side view on the right side. Okay, and if the same, so considering this is the front view, and when I view this object from the left side, I will get a left side itself. Okay, so I get it on the left side. So I believe this will have given you better clarity about the first angle and third angle projection. Okay, and this is a very important concept to understand all the drawings, especially it helps a lot in interpretation of the 2D drawings. Okay, because when you watch a 2D drawing, you need to know, you need to be able to imagine how it looks in 3D, and they will just give you the front view, top view, right side view, left side view. That's it. Okay, so this is a very important thing. I hope you have understood this, because without this you would not be able to do any of the orthographic views or the 3D modeling. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.